Barry Butch Wilmore lifestyle and net worth. Barry Eugene Butch Wilmore, born December 29, 1962, is an American NASA astronaut and United States Navy test pilot. He has had 3 spaceflights, the first of which was an 11-day space shuttle mission in November 2009, to the International Space Station. Wilmore was designated as pilot with 5 other crew members on Space Shuttle Atlantis for the mission STS-129. He served as part of Expedition 41 to the International Space Station, and on June 5, 2024, returned to the ISS on the Boeing crew flight test, the first crewed mission of the Boeing Starliner. On March 18, 2025, he returned to Earth on the SpaceX Dragon capsule with the other crew members of Crew 9. The crew that replaced the Boeing crew flight test astronauts aboard the ISS arrived on March 16. Prior to being selected as a NASA astronaut in July 2000, Wilmore was an experienced Navy test pilot. He also participated in the development of the T-45 Goshawk jet trainer. Barry Eugene Butch Wilmore, a retired U.S. Navy captain and veteran NASA astronaut, has an estimated net worth of approximately $18 million. This wealth is attributed to his distinguished careers as both a Navy test pilot and a NASA astronaut. In his role at NASA, Wilmore holds a GS-15 rank, the highest in the general schedule pay scale, with base salaries ranging between $125,133 and $162,672 annually. For instance, in 2023, his salary was documented at $172,500. These figures reflect his extensive experience and significant contributions to space exploration. That being said, let's subscribe to our channel. Butch Wilmore returned to Earth. Barry Butch Wilmore is married to Deanna Wilmore, née Newport, of Helenwood, Tennessee. Together, they have 2 daughters, Darren and Logan. The family resides in Houston, Texas. During Butch's recent extended mission aboard the International Space Station, his daughter Darren actively shared updates about her father's condition and expressed her anticipation for his return. She mentioned plans to bake his favorite dessert, pecan pie, and looked forward to spending quality time together to make up for the lost time. The Wilmore family maintained close communication throughout Butch's 9-month mission, relying on their faith and strong family bonds to navigate the challenges of his prolonged absence. Upon his return, Butch faced the physical challenges of readjusting to Earth's gravity. Darren described him as a trooper, acknowledging the difficulties of reacclimating after an extended period in microgravity. The Wilmore family's resilience and unity have been evident throughout Butch's career, reflecting their deep commitment to one another and their shared faith. Butch Wilmore personal life. Wilmore was born in Murfreesboro, Tennessee and raised in Mount Juliet by his mother Faye and father Eugene. Wilmore has 1 sibling, a brother who resides in Franklin, Tennessee. Butch Wilmore background education. Wilmore graduated from Mount Juliet High School in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Wilmore has received a Bachelor of Science and a Master of Science degree from Tennessee Tech in Electrical Engineering, and a Master of Science in Aviation Systems from the University of Tennessee. Mr. Wilmore was a member, letterman and team captain of the Tennessee Technological University football team. Butch Wilmore military experience. Wilmore has over 8,000 hours of flight time and 663 carrier landings, all in tactical jet aircraft, and is a graduate of the United States Naval Test Pilot School, USNTPS. During Wilmore's tenure as a fleet naval officer and pilot, Wilmore completed 4 operational deployments, flying the A-70 and F/A-18 aircraft from the decks of the aircraft carriers USS Forrestal, CV-59, USS John F. Kennedy, CV-67, USS Enterprise, CVN-65, and USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, CVN-69. He has flown missions in support of Operations Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Southern Watch over the skies of Iraq, as well as missions over Bosnia in support of United States and NATO interests. Wilmore successfully completed 21 combat missions during Operation Desert Storm while operating from USS John F. Kennedy. Wilmore's most recent operational deployment was aboard USS Dwight D. Eisenhower with the Blue Blasters of Strike Fighter Squadron 34, VFA-34, and F/A-18 Squadron based at Naval Air Station Oceana, Virginia. As a Navy test pilot, Wilmore participated in all aspects of the initial development of the T-45 jet trainer to include initial carrier landing certification and high angle of attack flight tests. His test tour also included a stint at USNTPS as a systems and fixed-wing flight test instructor. Prior to his selection to NASA, Wilmore was on exchange to the Air Force as a flight test instructor at the U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School at Edwards Air Force Base, California. Butch Wilmore NASA experience. Wilmore is shown inside Node 1 of the ISS reading an instruction manual on using a Canon EOS 1DC camera. Wilmore was selected as a pilot by NASA in July 2000 and reported for training that August 2000. Following the completion of 2 years of training and evaluation, Wilmore was assigned technical duties representing the astronaut office on all propulsion systems issues including the Space Shuttle main engines, solid rocket motor, external tank, and also served on the astronaut support team that traveled to the Kennedy Space Center, Florida, in support of launch and landing operations. In 2009, Wilmore piloted the Space Shuttle Atlantis for the STS-129 mission to the International Space Station. Wilmore returned to space in September 2014 as a member of the Soyuz TMA-14M long-duration International Space Station crew. During this mission, humans manufactured off-world for the first time. The International Space Station's 3D printer, designed and built by Made in Space Incorporated, was used to print a tool with a design file transmitted from the ground to the printer. The tool was a ratchet wrench needed by Wilmore, who would have had to wait for the tool to be delivered on the next supply mission from Earth. The wrench was later returned to the ground for analysis and testing, along with the other parts printed in space. Butch Wilmore Boeing Crew Flight Test. On October 7, 2020, NASA and Boeing announced Wilmore would join astronauts Michael Fink and Nicole Mann for NASA's Boeing Crew Flight Test, CFT, the inaugural crewed flight of the CST-100 Starliner launching to the International Space Station in 2021. On April 18, 2022, NASA said that it has not finalized which of the cadre of Starliner astronauts, including Wilmore, Fink, and Sunita Williams, would fly on the crewed flight test mission or the first operational Starliner mission. On June 16, 2022, NASA confirmed that CFT will be a two-person flight test, consisting of Wilmore and Williams. On June 5, 2024, Starliner was launched successfully to orbit with Williams as the spacecraft's pilot. On June 6, Starliner docked to the ISS after over a day in space. The mission was meant to last 8 days, ending with a landing in the southwestern United States on June 14. However, the capsule's thrusters malfunctioned as Starliner docked with the ISS. Despite months of testing, NASA felt it was not able to understand why the thrusters malfunctioned and decided that it was too risky to return Wilmore and Williams to Earth aboard Starliner. The Boeing Starliner spacecraft returned uncrewed on September 6, 2024, and landed intact at White Sands Space Harbor, New Mexico at 12:01 a.m., September 7, after 3 months in space dock to the ISS. In December 2024, it was announced that Wilmore and Williams will return to Earth no earlier than late March 2025 on a new SpaceX Dragon capsule. On January 30, Williams and Wilmore were scheduled to begin the station's 274th spacewalk, retrieving hardware from the exterior of the International Space Station. On March 18, 2025, the astronauts Williams and Wilmore finally returned to Earth on the SpaceX Dragon capsule with the other crew members of Crew 9. Butch Wilmore Awards and Honors. Barry Wilmore's personal decorations include the Legion of Merit, the Defense Superior Service Medal, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, 2 Navy Meritorious Service Medals, 5 Air Medals, 3 with Combat V designation, 6 Navy Commendation Medals, 3 of which also hold the Combat V designation, the NASA Distinguished Service Medal, 2 NASA Spaceflight Medals and 2 Navy Achievement Medals and numerous unit decorations. He has also received the Aviation Officer Candidate School, AOCS, Distinguished Naval Graduate Award. He is also on the Initial Naval Flight Training Commodore's list with distinction. He has also won the U.S. Atlantic Fleet Light Attack Wing 1, Pilot of the Year, 1991, and U.S. Atlantic Fleet Strike Fighter Aviator of the Year, 1999. Wilmore is the recipient of the Strike Fighter Wing Atlantic Scott Spiker Award for Weapons Employment Excellence, 1998. In 2003, Barry Wilmore was inducted to the Tennessee Technological University Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you for watching till the end, and remember to subscribe to our channel for such interesting content.